is a intimate sounds video. I'm just going to be doing some close-up mouth sounds and some whispering, a little bit of eating and that sort of thing. I want to thank you for tuning in, and before I get started, Ian Wood is celebrating 9 years of sobriety, so congratulations, Ian. That is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And Luke wants to give Sophie a shout out, so a big shout out to Sophie from Luke, and a big shout out to me from both Luke and Sophie. And a big shout out, of course, to Ian Wood, and a big shout out to all of you as well, okay? A big shout out to everyone. Okie dokie. So, I'm going to get started now. A lot of people have always asked me, what's that sound at the beginning of your video? That sound is an apple. I get asked that a lot, actually. That's an apple. And it's a very nice sound for that sort of thing. Now, like I said, this video is going to be about relaxing, just about mouth sounds and tingles and that sort of thing. So I want you to sit back and lie back and, lie down. I just hope you're not driving, but just relax and just listen to the sound of my voice. I've always liked mouth sounds, like stuff like that. I remember one time, I was probably in grade 4, I think, thereabouts. I remember only because the classroom was in a certain wing, and that was grade 1 to grade 4, so I think it was grade 4, and there was a girl next to me. We were having, I think, the last hour of the day, maybe the last half hour. It was kind of free time to do some reading or to do some crafts or catch up on whatever you needed to do. And this young lady, her name was Brenda. We were all in the same grade. She was sitting right next to me, and she was doing some cutting. She was cutting some paper. Just sitting there, and she was kind of talking to herself. Just talking like that, and just sort of mumbling away, and just sort of, sort of inaudible sounds, nothing really making sense, but she was in her own little world. And I was sitting there reading next to her, and I thought I was just going to fall asleep right there because of all those amazing sounds she was making. Just, talking to herself and just, cutting her paper and... But she was just sitting there just cutting like that, just talking away, just sort of mumbling to herself, not making any sense at all. Just talking. Just talking like that. And like I said, not making the slightest bit of sense. I love the sound of whispering in people's voices. I know sometimes at the doctor's office, I'll be sitting there and the receptionist will be talking on the phone. There's other people and everyone's trying to be kind of quiet, not too disruptive, and they're just kind of whispering to each other. I guess it was last fall, I went in to see the doctor about getting a physical. I get one every few years, and I was sitting there. There's a couple that were older than me, probably in their 80s or so, and she was obviously in better health, but she was kind of talking to her husband and just make sure you tell the doctor about your dizzy spells and just kind of whispering, not to be really noisy because you didn't want to be disruptive or nothing like that, right? And it was just like listening to her talk. It was just really, really relaxing. I just really, really enjoyed it. So once again, it's one of those times you just want to drift off to sleep. But I know a lot of people don't believe this, but I even made a video about it, about the dentist. I love going to the dentist. I know that probably seems a bit weird, but I love going to the dentist. I find it to be so relaxing, really relaxing. And I know some people say, well, you wouldn't say that if you had a root canal. I've had 3 root canals over the last 15 or 20 years. The last time I had a root canal was when I got back from Mexico in 2023. And I almost fell asleep in the chair because the doctor was very professional and his assistant, she was, they were both very good, but they would talk minimally, but what they did was always about, the business at hand. It was nothing, no personal talking or nothing like that, but always just whispered and everything was nice and quiet. They're just working away, and I actually found myself just being lulled off to sleep. It was just really, really relaxing. Now I have a little bit of licorice here. I love licorice. These are actually twisters. I'm not really sure if you call it licorice, but I'm hoping someday, by next spring, the condo where I record my videos is being remediated. So I'm hoping that'll block out a lot of the outside noise. We'll see. Only time will tell. I get asked if I watch my own videos. I do, but probably not for the same reasons that you would. I watch them for technical reasons, mostly. And to be honest, I sometimes find my own videos to be probably more irritating than somebody else's. I don't really like the sound of my own chewing, for instance. Sometimes on my cooking channel, at the end of my cooking channel, ask me, actually a lot of people ask me about eating apples. They always want to know what that noise is, what that chewing is at the beginning of the video. Have you ever picked an apple off the tree? And it's kind of got that sort of coating on it, that white coating. And you take, it's got that white coating, and you take a cloth and you just buff it. The apple just shines, just absolutely shines. It just polishes right up, really nice. It's really something to see. I really enjoy doing that. So I'm going to enjoy this apple. This will be my lunch today. I have to tell you, being a content creator, you have a lot of things to deal with, such as outside noise like that truck that just went by, little glitches here and there. I have my refrigerator attached to a power bar, which I have to shut off when I make videos, otherwise you can hear the refrigerator running in the background. Yesterday I was doing some tests and I forgot to turn my refrigerator back on. Normally it's not a big deal because I rarely have a whole lot of stuff in there. I might have a couple cans of bubbly, and that might be about it, or some bottles of water. But this time I had some leftover food in there, cake and some Tim Hortons stuff and whatever, but I didn't want to take a chance on eating it, so I threw everything out. But that's okay because it was all carbs anyway. That's probably the last thing I need is more carbs, so I'm going to enjoy this apple. And I've got some peanuts to eat too. This apple is called an envy. I got some peanuts for later. This is a huge apple, really big, really tasty. was married, we had a dehydrator, and we used to dehydrate everything, everything. Apple chips, banana chips, we'd make fruit roll-ups, dehydrated peaches, we even made raisins out of our own grapes. It was really good, really good. I love that dehydrator. It came in so handy. It was nice for snacks and stuff. You have all your dehydrated fruit. I love the apricots, stuff like that. It was so nice. This is very filling. I can only imagine some of those caramel apples that have lots of caramel and candies and marshmallows stuck to them. Those are really filling. Very filling. But this one is very good. It tastes very healthy. Really healthy. recipe. This is a recipe that I used to make, and my fellow chefs used to make in the nursing home. It's extremely easy, really easy, but it's very, very good. It's a very cool, refreshing dessert. I just made it for my cooking channel. It's called Peña Colada Square. So Peña Colada Square is really very, very good. Very basic. I'm going to read off the ingredients. First thing you need is 1 1/2 cups of cream cracker crumbs. Then you need 1/2 cup of butter. You could use basil, but butter works better. Then 1/2 cup of white sugar. Generally, brown sugar is softer, but the white has a bit more spark to it. Then you also need 1 14-ounce can of crushed pineapple. You will also need 1 14-ounce can of pineapple chunks. You will also need 3/4 cups of icing sugar. And 8 ounces of Cool Whip, or as Stewie on Family Guy would say, Cool Whip. He always goes, whip. You'll also need 8 ounces of cream cheese. That Philadelphia cream cheese works good, works very good. But you want to make sure it's softened up before you try and beat it. And 3/4 cup of coconut. Now, of course, the pineapple and the coconut is where the flavor comes from. But the cream cheese and the Cool Whip really provide a lovely, lovely green base. So the first thing you do is you melt your butter. Now you can do that on the stove in a pot. and just whip it, either with a high-speed blender or an egg beater. I use an egg beater myself, it works fine. Never underestimate an egg beater, they've been around for hundreds of years and they work great. Then once you've whipped your cream cheese really good, add your icing sugar and whip that in with it. You will notice at this point it starts to change color a little bit. Then you're going to fold in your 8 ounces of Cool Whip and just fold that in gently with a spatula. Then you're going to drain your crushed pineapple. And you're going to fold the pineapple in as well. Now the leftover juice, you may as well just drink it because it's good for you. Now at this point I like to add just a couple tablespoons of the coconut to the mixture and fold that in. Then I will take the whole entire mixture and I'll spread it over top my graham wafer base in the pan. And just kind of smooth it out and flatten it out. Then I'll take some pineapple chunks and put the pineapple chunks on top of the mixture. Just make about 4 or 5 rows of 5 or 6 chunks of about maybe ½ inch apart or an inch apart thereabouts. And then you can sprinkle your coconut on top of that and refrigerate for 4 to 5 hours. Now what I did, and I like to do this, I went one step further. I toasted my coconut. I love toasted coconut. The reason is because I think it adds a nice crunch, a nice texture. It enhances the flavor and it looks really good. Now sweetened coconut works very well for this recipe, but you have to be careful when you toast your coconut that you keep an eye on it because it'll burn very quickly and you don't want that. And the sweetened coconut will burn a lot faster than the regular coconut because of the sugar content. I love it when I go camping. 2 things always bring. One thing for sure. Sunflower seeds and peanuts. I never eat sunflower seeds. Rarely. Unless I'm camping. But I used to eat them all the time. I would do my crossword puzzles and eat sunflower seeds. Ooh. I thought that was a nice thick one, but there's actually 2 stuck together. bad news is, gotta cut the lawn a lot. I think it was last year, the year before. May have been the year before. It was so dry that the lawn started turning brown in early May. That doesn't usually happen until the middle of July. It's hard to crack a peanut and not make too much noise. So tomorrow, Linda and I are going out for Thai food. We always pick one day of the week, usually Friday. And that's the day we set aside for ourselves. Linda goes to Tai Chi in the morning with her friend. And then her and I will go out for lunch. Another thing I love the sound of is hair cutting. Okay, I'll have just one more licorice if you insist. If you're gonna force me, I'll eat one. I plan on doing a lot more of these intimate close-up videos. I still have lots of stories. I love doing my epic stories. Those are probably some of my favorite. Because I get to eat chicken or pizza. Now, I'll probably be doing another cookie video. Sampling some more sounds and stuff like that.